And now cellular radio telephones have finally arrived in the UK. Perhaps you've seen this advert.
Parry and Parry, solicitors.
If you'd like to be in when you're out, ring Rakel Vodafone.
That's lovely. Well, how does that differ from ordinary radio telephones? Well, the basic problem with a radio telephone is the limit on the number of lines or channels available in a big city with one transmitter. Let's have a look at this little picture here. We've got our transmitter there in the middle, and there I am with my car driving across it. Now, every car would need a different frequency to communicate with that, and in a large-sized city, you can imagine the clutter that it's going to get. In fact, the number of lines is limited. Also, the distance is limited, and of course, nobody knows quite which city we're going to be in. With cellular radio, what happens is that the country or the town is divided into cells, and each of these cells is allocated a different frequency shown by these different colours. Now, we use much lower power transmitters. Of course, you need a lot more of them. So this group of cells here, this group of lines here, is not the same frequency, is the same here, but the power isn't sufficient to communicate across there and interfere with them. Now, as you move from one cell to another, of course, something happens. Now, let's have a look what that is. Here is a group of cells, and there is a little transmitter in each of the cells, and I'm in my car in this particular cell here. I've called up, it's transmitted to the main transmitter, which links me into the main telephone network, and off I go, I drive across. Now, the transmitter senses when the signal at the edge of the cell becomes very weak. It automatically allocates a new frequency from this transmitter and re-establishes a connection. And that's really done by the computer itself. And it continues right across, and here again another line has been allocated, and I communicate into the network. This means that I can be contacted wherever I'm located, wherever cellular radio is installed, and eventually it will be installed throughout 90% of Britain. At the present time, it's just major cities and on the motorways and some of the lines. So 90% of the city, 90% of England, you'll be able to phone at somebody in his car, and of course you don't notice when you move from one cell to another, everything is perfectly smooth and transmission and reception is almost flawless. Well, in theory it's a splendid idea, but what about the practice? Well, we've got Fref in New York, and we hope that he's on top of a skyscraper somewhere near the BBC offices in the Rockefeller Centre. We've got a camera looking at him. Oh, I can see him now. Hello, Fref. We've no voice contact at all. So by now, Leslie should be at a secret location somewhere in West London, ready to make contact. Leslie, did you manage to get yourself a tandem?
I couldn't get hold of a tandem, Mac. They're all hired out, so I've had to make do with one of Clive Sinclair's electric vehicles. Mind you, they get you from A to B and in some style as well. Incidentally, Snoopy on the top there is an optional extra. Right, now then, I've got my cellular radio phone here. That's it. You see, no cables attached at all, completely portable. Take the handset off. Now, Fref's New York telephone number is pretty long, so I've preset it in the memory. I'll just call it up. 01. Now, you get a visual display to check that you've got the right number. And when that comes up, where's it gone? Oh, hang on, I'll cancel that and try again. See what's happening there. OK, let's have another go. Now, let's have a look. No, I'm not having a lot of joy with this. Just try once more, otherwise I'm going to have to call in a tame techie from somewhere. Let's have a little look. We've got... See if I get the number up this time. Yes! Success. Send the call down the line. Great. Now, there'll be about a 15-second delay here while it connects up with the international lines. These really are incredible. This is quite a large version of the equipment, but nevertheless, as you can see, totally portable. They do come smaller, and really at £1,300 they're half the price of the existing radio telephones. And it's ringing! Oh, if luck's on my side, Fref will answer in a minute. Hello, Fref. Is that Fref on the roof?
Yes, Leslie, in a car, I guess. It's Fref on an extremely cold roof.
Oh, I can see you now. You've got snow there.
A lot of it. And it's coming down faster and faster. I can barely see the city, and I'm right here. Can you see anything?
Not a lot. Listen, let's get down to business in that case, because you look so cold.
Okay.
You've had cellular radio telephones around for, what, 9 months now in New York?
Approximately 9 months in New York. Yeah.
How's the system going? Has it taken off?
It's doing very well. In fact, they've hit their subscriber goal of 10,000 a little early, and they expect by 1985's end to have about 25,000 subscribers in the New York area. There's about, right now there's 12,000 in this area.
Yep.
There's about 100,000 nationwide. They've got 28 of the 30 target cities wired up to go.
What is the American target, Fref? I mean, we're aiming to cover 90%. Are you going to go coast to coast with this?
They tell me by the end of the decade we'll be coast to coast. As I say, they're almost finished with the first 30 cities, and they're starting with another 30 after that.
That's great. Listen, we've been talking about the big new business computer show that's opening over here next week, and I believe you've got something. Similar running in the States, haven't you? Did you see anything there that you liked?
Finishing up. Well, I saw some great stuff. The most important news for computer buyers is probably Atari, which Jack Tramuel bought, of course, earlier. And he's coming out with a whole new line of computers, one of which is a Macintosh look-alike, which has been nicknamed the Jackintosh here in this industry. What's important about that machine is, while it acts like a Macintosh in all respects, it's in color instead of black and white, and they say they're going to sell it for $400.
Wow. Listen,
amazing.
Another innovation from the States. No doubt we'll get it here next year. Fref, I've got to sign off now. It's been lovely to talk to you. I hope next time we might be face-to-face. Give us a wave, Fref. Give us a wave.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Oh. Bye-bye.